Good morning and welcome to today's verse. To God be the glory. What a great day it is today. Today's verse comes to us from the book of Esther, Esther chapter 4, verse 14, and it says this: For if you remain completely silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. Yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Here we have the story of Esther that takes place during the rule of King Ahasuerus, who was a Persian king, and he ruled over 127 provinces. His citadel was in Susa, that is in modern day Iran. He had enormous wealth and power, and in the third year of his reign, he made this tremendous feast and invited all his leading officials there and displayed all of his wealth, his possessions. And the last thing that he wanted to show off was his wife, Queen Vesta. But when Vesta was called, she refused to parade herself before the king's drunken party. And as a result, she was removed from being queen, and a replacement was sought, and Esther was chosen. Our verse, it unfolds as Mordecai, the cousin of Esther, who adopted her as his very own daughter. He finds out that Haman, one of the king's trusted officials, has persuaded the king to issue a decree to terminate all the Jews on a certain date. So Mordecai, he sends a message to Esther pleading for her to go before the king and intercede on behalf of her people to save them. Esther's initial response to Mordecai was that it's against the law, for no one dared enter into the presence of the king's inner court without first being called, and she hadn't been called for the past 30 days. Everyone knew if you did that, there was but one decree, and that was death. That is, unless the king extended the golden scepter toward you. And so Mordecai insisted, after hearing this, Mordecai insisted that Esther be courageous. Why? Because even being queen, it would not protect her, because she too was a Jew. Sooner or later, she would be found out. Because if she kept silent, God would raise up another deliverer. But she and her father's house would perish. And because God had raised her up for this very purpose, had he not? Think about it. Was it by chance that Queen Vesta would be removed and then Esther would be put in her place? What are the odds of a Jewish girl that she would become queen in a land of her captors? What is the chance that Esther would find favor in the eyes of the king over all the other women, hundreds, thousands maybe, that appeared before him in his kingdom? No, it was not by chance, but it was by God's own doing. Esther had been placed upon the throne for the very purpose to save her people. Maybe you find yourself in a position, or you've been questioning why God has you where you're at this particular time. And maybe sometimes you feel out of your place. But remember this, there's somebody that died in your place. And the person that did that, he makes no mistakes. So maybe, just maybe, you're where you're at for such a time as this. Think about it. Selah. To God be the glory for the great things he has done. I pray that you would meditate upon this verse. It would be a word of encouragement to you as you go throughout your day. I pray that you would have a great day on this Monday morning as we begin a new week. Have a safe day. And then tune in again tomorrow. Yes, as we consider today's verse. Amen.